And we are live.
We're back. Happy
We're
New
back.
Year. Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Let's go. 2024. Here we go.
And here's a special one. We are now live on Instagram as well. Pretty
Nice. StreamYard created a nice update for everybody so that we get to go live across almost every platform now. But I would imagine the experience is still going to be the best on YouTube and LinkedIn. But hey, we'll see.
I think that's how it's supposed to be, but we'll see. Chris White, first one. Looked like you had a great time with your family, paying homage to your son and your kid and your wife. Very nice job. Ryan Coleman, Melissa Graves. Good to see all the same names. Bobby Gold, Tharb. So, Mr. Nudelberg, how was it taking a couple of weeks off?
It was great. There was so much family time. We got to celebrate Greta and her 90th birthday. We got to spend a ton. I got to hit a couple of events, got to go to the Boca Bowl, which while that was not a good football game, it was still a fun time. Got to do some stuff with the Russell Education Foundation and giving away toys at some of our reading rooms. And then just so much family. James and Elise were here for a long time. So Remy and Kai and Jules all got to play together and have some great cousin time. And Christmas Eve was a success. It was a delicious pig. And we had some new members of the tribe there. We had Joy Linsky and Andy Linsky and their family, which was really great. And then we had Austin and Jordan from our swim class there. So a lot of just wonderful family time, good fellowship, and good regrouping and strategy and all that kind of stuff to hit the ground running on this beautiful Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, what's hard to imagine is that the last show we did live was December 14th. That night we had our holiday party, which was just a really enjoyable time celebrating us, which was nice. And then if people don't remember, that Friday we were supposed to play golf, but it was like a monsoon.
Yeah, it was
so off to the races we went, and it was great. I saw people. We had lots of fun stuff we did. For me, it was just like out of the normal. Shay, you have pictures for me? There you go. I got to spend great time with your kids, which was amazing. Kai got lobster, he got stone crabs. I got to wake up, with my lady, which, I celebrated her. And then what was really cool, I visited some people, I smoked some cigars, but New Year's Eve, we got invited to a party that was an engagement party. People that we know, young friends of ours, their daughter got engaged, and they were having a New Year's Eve party, and they invited us, and it was all dressed up, and it was like the party starts at 8:30, man. So like I'm 8:30. You kidding me? Anyway, we took naps, we went, and it turned out to be a surprise wedding, which was so cool. A nice way to ring in the new year.
That's very cool.
Yeah, but it was just really fun stuff. I think it's when you work as hard as we do, and we do have a very high bar for the work that we do, I think you got to take some time off. You got to get away from it, because this morning I was back in the gym, ready to go, cold plunge, boom, doing this. So I'm jacked. I'm super excited. Shay, show me what it feels like to be back.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Yeah. Classic. We are back. We are back.
We are.
It's exactly what it feels like. I mean, I didn't really take that much time away from the gym. I didn't stop waking up early, really. So but it is good to be back in the groove. It's good to be back doing the huddle. It's good to be back, getting back to business, and ready to start the climb of 2024 to see what it will bring to us and where we can finish the year when we get to December.
Awesome. So I got lots of fun stuff today, some fun facts. We got daily affirmations. We got all kinds of stuff. But I think Shay changed the wake-up music.
Let's go, Shay.
Wake up!
Great
job.
highlights.
Nice
Great
job.
highlights. Well done, Shay. Good stuff. For those of you that don't get to see it, Shay does an excellent job of picking out clips from last year's shows. Great huddlers in the hot seat. Jules even makes an appearance in the intro music now, which I'm sure he'll be happy about.
Good stuff. And we're back to doing it again. Friday, Huddler in the hot seat, Howard Levine, senior executive at Amarant Bank. And if you live in South Florida, you see Amarant all over the place. They put their name on the building where the Panthers play. So you'll, and I know him for 25 years, so it'd be great seeing him come together. A couple of big things happened while we were gone. Oreo came out with 3 new flavors yesterday. So it's like black and white cookie Oreo.
Yeah, I'm all about a black and white cookie. So,
I mean, like when I saw this stuff, so, obviously they've done research, but for those of you who are looking for shit to post in social media, Oreos.
I mean, I got to try the soft baked, right? Like
right?
it's like an Oreo cupcake sort of, or a cookie cupcake. Like I'm in for that.
My man Charles from Morgan Stanley, who handles the finances for us, he sends every year. Boom.
That's white chocolate covered Oreos with sprinkles, which you would think that you wouldn't even need the sprinkles, but the sprinkles add a whole nother dynamic to it that make it really delicious. So Oreo stepping out into 2024 with an absolute bang.
Absolute bang. I mean, great job, Oreo. As a reminder, tomorrow is our event. Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's the Unfuckwithable event. It's the 3 things you need to know to get more in 24. Finished that deck a couple of days ago, so you get to review that. I know we're going to meet on it later this afternoon, but put a lot of good work into it in just saying, hey, what are the things, what are the new behaviors, right? We talk a lot about what are the things you need to add to your toolkit. And while the concepts might not be new, the way we're going to put them into practice in this workshop, which I think is different than most of our kickoff events. Previous years, our kickoff events have been a motivational, rip-roaring, hey, let's get after it. We're really going to give everybody the workbook. That'll get sent out today for those of you that are signed up already for it, which will have blank spots in it for you to be able to fill out. And we're going to go in and do the work with you so that you walk away from this with the 3 behaviors, knowing exactly what to do and how to do it so you can put it into practice.
I can already tell you. I can tell you this without fail. It's too big. It's too much. I mean, I looked through it. It was like, holy cow, man. We're spending 90 minutes, not 90 days, man. It is,
yeah.
So
coming from a guy who has like 275 slides for a 60-minute presentation. So like, I love it.
We're chopping it. We're chopping it down. Just real quickly, a lot of people do New Year's resolutions. I loved that Dion did a thing. He goes, I don't do resolutions, I do solutions. So, which is really hip. So, but it is about new behavior. New behavior for me was looking at what I was not doing, what I really wanted, and I got away from reading books. It was a big part of my career. And then all of a sudden I got away from it. And the way to do it, thank you, James Clear, who also just got voted again the #1 selling book, is Small Incremental Behaviors, 1 chapter a day. I shared that with most of my coaching clients, and they were like, that's doable. But somebody posted a bunch of books that they read, and yours was in it, Shay.
Jim Rushton. It was so cool to see his post.
Yeah.
He did a really cool recap. He reads a book a month, and one of my books was the book that he read for the year, and I actually cracked the top 10 in the rankings. So that was pretty cool to see. Thank you to Jim for reading it. Had a couple people reach out to me this morning, or actually right after that, about getting a book because they wanted to read it. So super cool.
It is a great book. It's also great to reread books. And then here's another clue. Just because you start a book does not mean you have to finish it.
Correct.
Like, get in, pull what's something out of it, own it. And if that's it, then move on. It's okay. I go back and forth to books. All I'm committed to is 1 chapter a day.
I don't know why people feel like you have to finish a book if you start it. Like if the book sucks, the book sucks.
It
Like
happens, right? Not
it's
every
just
right.
movies, TV
Right.
shows. Like you would walk out of a movie, you'd be like, "This is terrible. I'm not
You
finishing
change
this."
the channel all the
Right, you
time.
change the channel. Like I don't know why. And there's Ryan Coleman. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I know he read his while he was on vacation on the beach. He sent me a great picture of it. So appreciate that very much.
I will tell you, and I don't. Jonathan Aaron started the year great. He goes, sprinkles are always necessary. He's so right. He's so right. So, resolutions, solutions, pay attention to the change in behavior. One of the things we're going to change in the show is every day we're going to share a daily affirmation. There's so many people who are not doing what we preach that we're going to spoon feed it to them. We're going to say, oh my God, Breckenridge showing up from Italy, man, from Florence, Italy. Go to the old leather factory and buy a leather coat, dude.
I love it.
You are the best. It's 6 hours ahead there. So, but I'm going to share daily affirmations with you. They'll come from different places. Look at this was one that we want to share today. 2024 is going to be the year that everything changes for me. I have the right mindset and the right motivation to follow through. Everything I have experienced up until this point has been preparing me for something great. And 2024 will be the year that manifests for me. You speak it first. You think it second, and then it manifests. And so, love share.
Yeah, I think I think it was Schwarzenegger who had talked about you don't change your world, you change your world through one thought at a time, which I was like, oh, that's a really unique way to say it. And I think that's super important. And so for the people who don't practice affirmations or don't understand the importance of mindset, that's why we're adding this to the show. Because when you speak that, then you can look at your behavior throughout the day and say, how do I align myself with that? How do I put this into practice for myself? I know there was another one that it came out that was really great. That was about the health and wellness and the way that it spoke to the way you looked at your body. When you speak about your mind and your body very strongly, it then affects the decisions you make. Then it's a little bit harder to pick up the Oreo that we just spoke about, or it's a little bit harder to skip the gym. It's a little bit harder to not do the things because you've already spoken about your body in a way that makes you want to take care of it.
So awesome. Let's get into some motivational music. It was tough. I didn't really know how to start the year, but there's a reason why I picked this song. We'll talk about it right after motivational music. Give me Billy Idol.
Down in London town to go with the record selection and the mirror's reflection. I'm a dancing with myself when there's no one else inside in the crowded lonely night. Well, I wait so long for my love vibration and I'm dancing with myself. Dancing with myself. Dancing with myself. When there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to prove, but I'm dancing with myself.
So the last line there's nothing to prove and there's nothing to lose because I'm dancing with myself. What does that mean to you? We didn't discuss this, so I'm curious.
So I have actually been working on a piece of content that I want to write because I think success has a very unique dynamic. You have to be willing and prepared to go at it alone, but also know that you're going to need people along the way to help you be successful. So you have to have this mindset where I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody else is doing. I'm going to do it no matter what, and I'll do it alone if I have to. But I also know that I'm going to need people in order to be as successful as I need to be. So that's really what it speaks to me is I'm dancing alone. Like, I don't care. I'm doing my thing and I'm going to make it happen.
I'm just being me. If you can't accept me for being me, fuck you. I'm serious. That's what being unfuckwithable is that, you know what? If it's working for you, then dance by yourself. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a great song to kick off the year because there's so many people shouting on things you should do and all of the shit that's happening in LinkedIn, which if you tune in tomorrow and you're with us, you will see that it is not what it was. It has changed radically. And if you're not careful and you follow the wrong people. So anyway, dance with yourself. I thought it was a great way to start the year. Jake took his final trip of 2023, went to London.
What a well-traveled man in 2023.
He has mastered getting in and through airports. He has the upgrade thing down. But
he did Asia, he did Europe, he did 4 different countries. He absolutely crushed it.
He did locally with us. We went to New York, we went to Vegas. But he shared with me something about how to maximize consecutive travel days with paid time off. So if you just look at July 4th, the way it falls out, and this is part of what we're going to talk about tomorrow, is planning. Look at the calendar, own it, make it your friend. If you take off the weekend before July 4th, the 1st through the 3rd is going to be numb, right? And then the 5th, and then the following weekend, you'd have 9 days off. Just that, from Friday.
Yeah, I guess because I don't know where the 4th falls, but I guess if you were to take the first, second, and 3rd, and the 5th, you get 9 full days off, which
correct.
Go make a great trip for July 4th. Love that.
Yeah. So I just, when that's info that we take in, we're going to convert it to the calendar and say, what's the most efficient way for me? Now, we don't have paid time off. We can go do what you want if the work is done.
Yeah, I think a lot. I know there's organizations that I work with that have moved away from the PTO and just say it's unlimited time off. But if you're not doing your job, then you're going to get fired. So figure it out.
Back. Don't come back. Okay, we're going to spend the last 5 minutes of the show with a question that I was burning to ask you. There was so much football, college football, bad, good, whatever. I thought, clearly, I think the playoffs got it right. Sure. They got 4 great teams that banged it out last night. But I want you to share the mindset of the 14 years you were in coaching. Like last night, the last play for Alabama, it's over.
Season ended.
Season ended. Now everybody there is focused on a new season. So I wanted you to sort of unpack for everybody, if you can, how do you welcome a new season? And basically, and here's from a business standpoint, whatever happened in 2023, it's gone.
It's done. Yeah.
Different. It's and if that's
so I think that's the important part. That's the important part of entering into the new season is that you flush the last season. And so whether you won the national championship, whether you lost in the semifinal, and I talked about it this morning on my post, everybody's season ended at a different time, right? Alabama has been playing in the same season all the way until January. Some people's season ended back at the end of November. So they've had almost, 6 weeks to really get a head start on Alabama on their next season. Because that's really what it's about, is how do you transition from last year to this year? And I think that's a great part of what we do at the end of the year, taking 2 weeks, is it's a transition. We get to look at the goals. We get to look at what we did. Where do we fall short? Where did we do really well? Hand out the accolades, say, everything you need to say, and then put it to bed. Because starting right now, starting yesterday, technically, and obviously today, which is the first day of the work week for most people, now starts your climb for this next season. And I said it this morning, most people think the success happens at the end, that at the end of the year, you hit your goal and it's all great, but that's just the sum of the activity from the last 12 months. And so you either add or subtract from your sum every single day. And the more additions you add, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to have great success at the end. So moving away from last year and saying, we're not the champions that we were, or we're not the losers that we were, and whatever we hope to be at the end of the year, we have to decide to start embodying that behavior right now. So what do champions do the first day after they lose to the University of Michigan in the playoff? They recover. They rest their body, right? They watch the film, they clean it up, they put it to bed, and then they start the plan of action of saying goodbye to the members that are leaving and no longer with them, welcoming in the new guys and saying it's time to go to work.
So if you took that exact conversation, plucked it, and had it in a business environment, you'd be talking about a combination of practical, motivational, and organizational effort.
Yep.
Where is the effort? Where is the concentration? Where is the focus? Where did we miss? Where can we get better? Self-evaluation, continual improvement. And, last year is done. 2023, that season is baked for us. If we get stuck thinking about the success or the failure,
or
the
either
failure,
way, either way,
right? We're lost, man. That chapter is over. You hope you take things away to make you better in 2024, which is why my word of the year is more in 24. And these great minds that you and I have, your post stole my concept. The reason why I did it was I'm going to do more of a lot of stuff that I know works.
Yep.
And I'm going to do less of the things that don't. And so, when I look at, all of the examples that are in front of us, you don't have to rip the Band-Aid off and run into the gym and today make 100 million calls or whatever. That is not really like the gym is going to be loaded with people this week.
Sure. The new diets, the people running to the gym, all the stuff that, new year, new me, which is great. It's great, right? Like start something new, but you got to figure out a way to make it sustainable. And if your idea is to come out and go from 0 to 1,000, burnout is happening for you. It's guaranteed, right? You have to figure out, how do I create sustained incremental change? And part of that is identifying what worked for me last year. Like you talked about self-evaluation, the self-scout's critical. Knowing what worked well for you last year and going, okay, how do I do more of that? And what didn't work well for me? And do I need to figure out how to improve that, or do I need to just drop it? Because one of the two things has to happen. It may be a skill that's necessary for you that you got to get better at, or maybe it's not something that serves you very well, and it's something that should be removed from your toolkit and your arsenal, and you got to move on from. So, I know everybody wants to get into a football conversation. Super excited to see David Roth here this morning. David put out great content yesterday. Glad to see you popping up back in the feed. And I know Mackie and Jonathan are talking about the games. But, at the end of the day, they got it right. They got great football games at the end of the year. I can't wait for 12. I would have loved to have seen Georgia in the mix because I think Georgia is as good as any of these teams. But, I think they got it right.
Final thought. Regardless of whatever is in your brain, if you're not investing in yourself and creating the right priorities, and so whether it's with us, whether it's with somebody else, another organization, I don't really care. I think there's a ton of good stuff that you could be investing for you and your team. And I'm totally committed to that as a mindset. How do you get better as you change the inputs? Because the inputs change the outputs. And, like you said, we'll go over a couple of them tomorrow. But what an awesome way to kick back the year. Great to have you. Got to make mention of your new office surroundings looking.
Yeah, this was another one of the changes that happened over the 2 weeks. We had the guest room / office converted into a true guest room / office. So got the rings and the diploma and the articles all behind me. So nice to be working in a new space to kick off the year that is definitely clean and not cluttered.
Shout out to my lady who helps design that kind of stuff, and she's preparing my office, which is really going to be great.
Shout out to Helen, because she coordinated the whole thing and did an unbelievable job with it. And shout out to Closet Factory, because Closet Factory experience was elite. They were communicative, they were on time, they were clean, they were just a fantastic experience to work with.
Yeah. And you know what? Wouldn't you know it? It's a family business. They give a shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, anyway, great to see everybody. Welcome back. Kick some ass in 2024. Join us tomorrow at the Huddle. And then 1 o'clock tomorrow, correct?
1 o'clock tomorrow is the Unfuckwithable event. If you are not signed up for that, you need to reach out to us so that you can kick off the year the right way.
Final thing, we're starting to work with Amaranth Bank, and I want, even though they haven't worked with us yet, I wanted to offer that to them. And so I was like kind of squeamish about like
the title.
I said, hey, I want to invite you to something, but I just want to give you a heads up. People who know us and work with us, this is kind of who we are, whatever. And she was like, I'm progressive. Tell me, and I told her the name. She goes, I love it, man. So
anyway, no doubt.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. And Instagram was working. There were people on there watching. So wherever you're coming to us from, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow for the Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.